and here we are. Anuvesh, thank you for this meeting. So today we are going to discuss about a few subjects that you put in your message to me. 18 questions that you want to discuss, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we have about half an hour, 30 minutes. So go with the first question.
Okay. Namaste Mata. Jai Jagannath.
Jai Jagan.
Today we have gathered to discuss some question and issues concerning the Hindus Bengali community in Bangladesh,
Yeah.
especially due to lack of spiritual knowledge among Bengali Hindus. There are many superstitions prevalent here. The Bengali Hindus community is divided and confused in various ways by
That is a general
differing
problem because you
opinion
see,
and
yeah,
ideologies.
Hinduism
This
is a
this
very what to say
yes,
very vast knowledge field.
yes, this has now created a crisis at that
Yeah,
fragments and community and prevent unity.
exactly. Yeah.
Here are the question I would like to discuss with you. My first question is, Mata, what is religion do we primarily follow? It is sometimes referred to as a Arya Dharma, Vedic Dharma, Sanatana Dharma, or Hindu Dharma, particularly as Hindu Dharma. But according to our scriptures, what should the specific
Okay.
uh,
Okay.
designation of
Yeah.
our religion be?
Yes.
By what name should we address it?
Yes. Okay. So one important thing is to understand that dharma is the same for all human beings. There are four basic principles of dharma described in the shastra, especially the Bhagavata Purana, that is extremely easy to read. So the four basic principles of dharma described in Bhagavata Purana are referred to in the episode when Maharaj Parikshit meets the Kali Purusha. So the personification of the age of Kali. And the Kali Purusha is attacking the bull of Dharma. Dharma is presented as a bull, a male, a male cow, I can say. Okay, so the three of the legs have already been broken. One is still trying to resist. So the last leg of Dharma is Satyam, truthfulness. Without Satyam, the Dharma is gone. Cannot stand anymore. The
Yeah,
second
understood.
leg of Dharma is Daya, compassion. Compassion means benevolence, love for the other beings, cooperation, friendliness, cooperation basically, which is also based on the fact that we are all Atman, we are all Brahman. Okay. The third leg of Dharma is Socham. Socham means cleanliness and purity. Purity means being pure. Okay, purification. The fourth leg of Dharma is tapas. Tapas is a little weird that this concept is usually translated as austerity. But it's not exactly austerity, Especially, it's not austerity in the Abrahamic sense. Because the Abrahamic sense of austerity means mortification of the body, means deprivation, means suffering. Giving suffering to the body and mind, which according to the Bhagavad Gita is not tapas. According to Bhagavad Gita, this type of tapas is asuric. So what is actually tapas? Tapas means intensity, intense effort. We actually dedicate ourselves, we invest ourselves. This is tapas. These 4 basic principles of dharma are applicable to all human beings from any culture. This is why we call it Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana Dharma means it's the eternal Dharma that all human beings follow always, whether they are irrespective of their position in society, irrespective of their particular personal duty, which is called Swadharma. So the Swadharma of Brahmanas is different from the Swadharma of Vaishyas, and the Swadharma of Shudras, or the Swadharma of Kshatriyas. But all the Varnas follow the same Sanatana Dharma, including the Shudra. Shudra also have to follow the Sanatana Dharma and their Swadharma. So, Bhagavad Gita, we find in the end of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is explaining what are the guna and karma, the duties, the qualities, and the duties of each particular Varna. This is called Arya Dharma. Arya means civilized. What is civilization? In a Vedic perspective, civilization is the Varna Shrama system of civilization. It means that we know there are 4 Varnas, not 5, not 16, not 2,200. The idea of caste is not Hindu. The idea of caste is typically Abrahamic. Caste was invented by the Muslims when they started invading India, because they already had the high caste and the low caste. The Muslims are now, I don't remember exactly the definition, but they said high class and low class, which means, translated in Indian, language, is high caste and low caste.
Yes, Uchavarna, Nimavarna.
Exactly. So what happened that when the British introduced the census, you know what the census is? So they go and find out, write down all the people. And the problem is that they assigned a caste, which became hereditary. But before the British, the caste, the Varna system was not hereditary. Because anyone could go Prayaschita, Suddhi, Vrata, and actually become a part of the Varna system. You probably have heard about Dhyaneshwar from Maharashtra, great saint, who wrote the famous commentary to Bhagavad Gita, the Dhyaneshwari. Dhyaneshwar's father was a Brahmana, and then he was very interested in religion and spirituality. So he decided to take sannyas. So he left the family, the wife and the children, and went to the Himalayas to find the Guru. And he took sannyas. When the Guru learned that his disciple had taken sannyas without telling him that he had abandoned his family, the Guru became very angry, and he told him he should not have taken sannyas, because it is against dharma to abandon one's family. You can only take sannyas when your family is taken care of, because otherwise that is against dharma. So what happened? Janeshwar's father went back to the village. He abandoned sannyas. But this is considered very, it's considered a very bad thing. A sannyasi who gives up sannyas is called vantasi, someone who eats his own vomit. So the whole family became avarni, untouchables. So what happened? It was not a big deal. The whole family went to the brahmanas and had all the prayaschitta, vrata and diksha and everything. So they became brahmanas again. This means it's not hereditary. We see this definition, this description in lots of shastras and Puranas especially. We see that Brahmana fathers have Kshatriya or Vaishya children, or Kshatriya people become Brahmanas or become Avarnis depending on their behavior. So if someone is engaging in a bad behavior, they fall from their varna. Right? Lose a caste, they say. When someone is behaving in a good way, they purify themselves, they change, they improve their behavior, they can become recognized in a higher varna. So this is the Arya Dharma, because it's civilized, it's scientific. We know exactly the qualifications and the duties and all the system to run society in the best way. This is the Varna Dharma, Varna Ashrama Dharma. This is the Arya Dharma, which is also the Varna Ashrama Dharma for all the Aryas. Anaryas are those who do not follow the principles of the Varna Ashrama Dharma. Like, for example, when Krishna talks to Arjuna, Arjuna said, "Oh, we should just, drop our duty because it's too painful. We have to kill. We are causing the death of so many people. Blah blah blah." So what Krishna says, "Anarya justam aryama." This behavior of giving up one's duty is something only one anarya should do. We do. If you are Arya, you have to follow your duty nicely, no matter what it takes. But it has to be your duty. So your Swadharma is determined by your guna and karma. Guna, karma, svabhava, jam. The Swadharma is born from your specific guna, specific karma. Karma means the activities you make, you do. So if you are, if you want to be a brahmana, you cannot be a servant of a bad person. You should not take a salary. You should not compromise dharma to get some material benefit, because that's not brahmana. That's Shudra. Okay, so now people define this as Hindu Dharma, but they are not clear about what Hindu means. Some people say Hindu means Hindu race, Hindu DNA. No, there is no Hindu DNA. because you see sometimes even people born in very high families, they become adharmic people. They are not following the dharma that they're supposed to follow. They're expected to follow. Okay. Now, the idea of Hindu dharma is not correct, because usually they use this expression to parallel with ideas such as Christian dharma or Muslim dharma. So Hindu dharma, as not Muslim dharma, not Christian dharma, but this is not correct, because Abrahamic religions do not follow dharma. Why? Because they say, all Abrahamic religions, they say that the orders of God through the priests are more important than dharma. So if God tells you to kill innocent people, this is against dharma. But the order of God for them is more important. So you cannot call it dharma. Like, for example, you cannot speak of a criminal dharma. Because when the Christians say it's better to perform one's duty, one's dharma, even if imperfectly, than perform the dharma of someone else. That doesn't include the criminal dharma, because there is no such thing as criminal dharma. So the idea of Hindu dharma is, not very correct. It doesn't have a true meaning, doesn't have a real meaning. So we should follow dharma. If we follow the Arya dharma of the Varnashrama dharma properly, then we are in a very good position. Unfortunately, in Kali Yuga, it's very difficult. I think Bhagavata Purana says, Kalo Shudra Sambhava. In Kali Yuga, everybody will become Shudra. It's extremely difficult to find any qualified Brahmana. Very difficult. What is the meaning of Brahmana? Janmana Jayate Shudra. By birth, one can only be a Shudra. By performing samskara, one becomes a Dvija. By studying the Vedas, one becomes a Vipra. By attaining the Brahman realization, the Brahmabhuta, Brahman realization, one becomes a Brahmana. So, where are the Brahmanas who have attained Brahman realization? I don't see them. So, we can say Brahmana, Brahmin, like that, but it's not real. It's like someone who would like to be a Brahmana. So they're trying to do their best to be Brahmanas. But they're not really qualified. The most important thing is the knowledge. If we don't know how to qualify ourselves, how can we become qualified? If you want to find gold or honey or something valuable, if you don't even know what it is, how you're going to get it? So, the first step is the study of the shastra, the acquisition of knowledge. Through knowledge, we can come to understand what is dharma and what is vidya. And that is going to solve our problem. Okay. This also covers question number 2. What is Swadharma?
Yes. Mata,
Yes,
your answer is also indicate this dharma and swadharma. My
exactly.
next question is,
Yeah,
there is also confusion about the primary scriptures of our religion. How should we interrupt the Vedas,
yeah.
Upanishad, and the Bhagavad Gita?
Okay.
Which is the primary scriptures and which is the most superior scriptures?
Yeah.
Tell me about
You
that.
have heard the expression Prasthanatraya.
Hmm.
Prasthanatraya are the three primary scriptures in which one should start to study the Vedic knowledge. The first one is Bhagavad Gita. Everyone agrees that the Bhagavad Gita is the most important scripture. It is at the same time it's a Shruti and Smriti because it's also called Gita Upanishad. So it's we have all the great acharyas that have recognized the Bhagavad Gita as the most important. Adi Shankar is a Bhagavad Gita Kinchidadhita. Even if you study a little bit of Bhagavad Gita, you can become liberated. Everybody agrees on Bhagavad Gita. So, Bhagavad Gita, why? Because it's very clear, very complete, very simple language, and short. It's a short text. It's only 700 verses. And extremely easy verses to understand. I teach Sanskrit to people based on the Bhagavad Gita reading. Because even if
That's why
someone is starting to learn Sanskrit, Bhagavad Gita is so
that's
easy. Tell.
that's why this Bhagavad Gita says Sarva Panishatu Gabo Dugdha
Exactly.
Gopalanandana.
That is the Gita Mahatmya of Adi Shankar, written by Adi Shankar.
Yes.
So it
So
is the most important scripture is Bhagavad Gita. The
okay,
second of the Prasthanatraya is the Upanishads.
okay,
Because the Upanishads are more complicated than Bhagavad Gita. But still, they're very important. There are 108 major Upanishads, plus a great number of, Upanishads that people wrote, but they're not really Shruti. The most Smriti,
understood.
like for example, in the colonial times, there were some people who studied Sanskrit and they invented the Christopanishad. Means the Upanishad of Jesus Christ. You know what?
Yes.
It is a totally fabricated one. It's not that we put the name Upanishad and then we can write whatever we want. There are these traditional 108 Upanishads which we should focus on. Okay. The third one, but it's less important for us, is the Vedanta Sutra. For us, it is less important because already if we, because in Kali Yuga, already we realized we apply the Bhagavad Gita, we are okay. we don't need anything else. Now the Vedas, you mean the Veda Sanhitas. Rik, Sama, Yajur, Athar. These are very difficult texts. They are meditation texts for meditation, for dhyana, during the ritualistic ceremonies of the Karma Kanda. Now, not everybody has to do these rituals. Only the qualified brahmanas should do these rituals. Now, the
Okay.
qualified kshatriyas and qualified vaishyas can do a shorter version of these rituals. But the Vedic rituals are meant to meditate on the devas, not on Param Brahman. The Devas are different from the Param Brahman because the Devas have a material body. Param Brahman doesn't have a material body. The body of Param Brahman is not limited by material restrictions. So, the Devas who are in charge of this universe, not all the universes, only this particular universe, starting from Brahma, Prajapati Brahma, Indra, and Vayu, Agni, all the Devas, are only referring to this universe. And they are answers, body parts of the Virat Rupa. The Virat Rupa is the material avatar of Vishnu. The Virat Rupa is the material form, the material body of Vishnu that consists of the entire universe. So you have seen the Virat Rupa, Virat Purusha. It is described in the famous Purusha Sukta. The Purusha Sukta is a Vedic hymn that is supposed to be chanted in all the Vedic rituals. Anumesh, you still there?
Yes, I'm there.
Okay. Yeah, because we have to keep an eye on the time, to watch the time. Okay, so you understand the difference. The Devas and the Param Brahman are different. Okay, so the Vedic rituals, the Homa and the Soma specifically, that are under the Karma Kanda or Purva Mimamsa, they are meant for social purposes, not for spiritual purposes. Many people make the distinction between spirituality and religion. Now, the social aspect of religion, it will end in 10 minutes. Yay! Okay, right. We have
Okay.
10 minutes. Then we can do a second part. Okay.
Yes. Mata continue. Then we can
we
try
can
to
close and
second
start
hand.
another one. No problem.
Yes.
So what happens is that when we talk about the Karma Kanda of Purva Mimamsa, that's the social aspect of religion that recognizes the gifts from the Devas and reciprocate to the Devas through the Homa and Soma, through the offering to the Devas, Indra, Agni, and so on. Okay, but this spiritual side is not the Purva Mimamsa, is the Uttara Mimamsa. It's the self-realization, the Atma Vidya, which is, we can attain the self-realization of Atma Vidya, the spiritual level, through Yoga, Bhakti, Tantra. Yoga, Bhakti, Tantra are one and the same. Tantra can be done only to worship Ishvara, Param Brahman, in the form of Vishnu, Shiva, Shakti. Okay, so this is the most important thing. We have to understand the difference between the Veda Samhitas, the Upanishad, the Bhagavad Gita, and all the other scriptures. Okay.
Yes, understand.
I think we can talk about the fifth Veda. Fifth Veda is not the Tantra, but is the Puranas and Itihasas.
Okay, Mata.
Okay, we can close here.
Yes. My third third question is,
We don't have
how
time.
did
We don't have time. It will be cut.
oh, I understand. Then we will
Yeah,
try to
connect again.
once again to meeting.
Yes.
And thank you, Mata, for your
Glad again.
discussion. And our knowledge is acknowledgement is very impressive. We will try to figure out. Finally, we got this dharma as a most spiritual.
Yeah.
Then
Because we are,
we
in
need
Kali
to.
Yuga, the religious, social, 6 minutes. We have 6 minutes. The in Kali Yuga, the Purva Mimamsa is very difficult to apply. Very difficult because people are not able to understand. Like for example, the Purva Mimamsa Karmakanda speaks about the yagya, such as the Ashwamedha yagya, Gomedha yagya, even Naramedha yagya. But these are not animal sacrifices. This is a very degraded interpretation. Because the Shastras explain, for example, that the Ashwamedha Yaga, the Purusha, the horse is the Param Purusha, is the Viratrupa. Is time itself. So, when we do the Ashwamedha Yagya, we have to meditate on the Pashu is not an animal. The Pashu is a material manifestation of God, is a Viratrupa. So we sacrifice to the different parts of the body of the Viratrupa. We don't take a horse and we cut the throat of the horse. That's not what the Ashwamedha Yagya is about. So in same way, there is there are so many other things that have been forgotten and confused. Like for example, in the Purusha Sukta, which is one of the most important riks, hymns of the Veda Sanghita, Rig Veda, and also I think also in the other Vedas, not the Samhitas. The Purusha, the Parama Purusha, Virat Purusha, is described as human society. Now, some people try to use the Purusha Sukta to show that the caste system is bad because you have to distinguish the Shudras are the feet. No, but it's one body only. You cannot cut the feet off someone. When people read the Bhagavad Gita and they see that when the dharma is not upheld well enough, there is a group of a generation of Varna Shankara is produced. That doesn't mean the mixing of the castes. That doesn't mean that. Shankara means mixing in the sense of confusion. The Varna Shankara people are confused and they don't know which Varna they're supposed to be. Because they have not obtained the proper training, the proper education. So they don't know what a Brahmana is supposed to do. They don't know what a Kshatriya is supposed to do. So they try to manage, and they are Brahmanas when they want to be Brahmanas, they're Kshatriyas when they want to be Kshatriyas, they're Vaishyas when they want to be Vaishyas, they're Shudra for all the time. And this is stupid. Because each, according to our particular guna and karma, we are supposed to engage in some particular work. And you cannot separate the varnas. because all the varnas have to work together. So the mixing is inevitable. You cannot keep the feet separated from the hands. You cannot keep the hands separated from the head. It doesn't work. Okay, so I think this we have exhausted this, analyzed these particular questions. Now we close because I think it will last 5 minutes. We don't want the big sisters to come and cut us off. So we'll start another one. Okay, Jai Jagannath. Thank you, Anuvesh.
Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Mata. Jai Jagannath.
Recording stopped.